Thank you all for joining today's session. And for new beginners for meditation, and congratulations to all of you for taking this 21-day challenge and adopting meditation in your daily life. Big kudos to all of you. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen here. So, as you all have been taking a lot of wisdom over the last few days, we have been talking about various topics, right? Acceptance, healthy ego, unhealthy ego, self love, manifestation, affirmation, many great concepts. So, today's topic is more about how we can lead a happy life. So, we are all born to lead happy life, right? So, how can we take that forward? Because we want to achieve, first, we want to achieve a personal freedom. When we achieve a personal freedom, that's when we actually can lead a very happy life. But we have to get out of our cage, as you see in the slide, to achieve our personal freedom. Because a lot of times we have these self-limiting beliefs because we are conditioned, our mind is conditioned because of the way we are brought up and the way we observe things in the society. And a lot of times we also exhibit low self-esteem. This is one of the reasons of the unhealthy ego as well. And the way we try to respond things when certain negative situations happen in our life, and the way we interpret things, right? So we make a lot of assumptions, and we try to make up our own mind, and we try to blame others, and we try to, so those are some of the things which are preventing us from getting a personal freedom. So we have to overcome these things to lead a very happy and a very beautiful life. We're all born to live a very beautiful life, right? So today we're going to talk about these 4 principles on how we can overcome these self-limiting beliefs and all of the self-esteem and things like that, and to gain personal freedom. All right. So moving on. So the 4 principles or the 4 agreements, these principles are coming out of a great book which is written by Don Michael Ruse. This book came out in 1997, and this was actually sold just in United States. It was sold 15 million copies were sold to date, just in United States, and it was translated into 52 languages actually. So these principles you can try to correlate for all the wisdom that you have been learning over the last few days. So let's get into the deep dive of this topic. Be impeccable with your words. This is our first principle or the first agreement. Being impeccable, meaning we want to be very flawless with our words that we use. So words are messages, right? So messages can create a lot of power. We are conveying information to others through words. We can actually transform somebody's life. We can influence somebody to take a decision. We can actually motivate others. There are many things that can come out if we use the words in a different way, right? As we have talked about affirmation, manifestation. So it's all about how we talk, self-talk that happens within ourselves, and at the same time, how we try to motivate others with the words that we use. All right. So a lot of times we end up talking very positive towards towards the society, right? When we interact with a lot of people and all of that. But many times the self-talk that is happening within you throughout the day, we need to be very mindful of that. Let's say a person is always thinking that I am fat, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, and I'm never going to make it in life, right? So this is a very negative affirmation that is happening within himself or herself. Or let's assume that I am not capable. I don't think I can do so and so and so, right? I can't do 3 things at a time. It's a belief system that is actually holding us back. So it's very important for the words to be very impeccable. So that is one of the foundation principles, because once the words are really uh, going out in a very positive way, we can use more affirmations. We can lead in a better way as well. So, and that is one of the beautiful example that is shared out by Shreya, how she was actually not only manifesting her own dream, but with the help of words and with the help of vision board. All right. So with if you're going to use the word in the direction of truth, you're actually loving yourself. because you're accepting yourself the way you are and the way you want to become. Having a growth mindset is definitely helpful, but we also need to be very mindful, accept ourselves and the way we want to project ourselves. So the words comes obviously with the thoughts that we have within ourselves. So thoughts, words and deeds, right? These three are very, very important. Words come out only if your thoughts are right. So those are some of the things that we have to be very mindful of. And it's very common in the society to actually gossip. We as a children, we hear, when we were children, we hear adults gossiping a lot about different people, and that is actually taking up a lot of energy when we gossip about different things, different people, because when we gossip, we are just trying to project our point of view. We are trying to assume certain things, and we try to come to a conclusion, and we use our words to talk about it. And it's 90% of what we think is really not the truth. 90% of it is just a point of view, and it's just an opinion. And we have to be very mindful when we use this, when we actually gossip. If it's something, if we are really talking about a situation and how we can take the feedback, that's a different thing. But we have to be very mindful when we are gossiping about others, because this is actually taking a lot of energy and time, and unknowingly we are not being aware when we are actually gossiping. All right, moving on to the next one, which is don't take anything personally. This is something which is very, I personally feel this is really tough, but we all have to overcome this, because this is a very, let me just move this if you're able to see the slide properly. So, a lot of times people point fingers at you, right? A lot of times you are blamed for different things, and it's pretty common to see this in the society, and we have to be very careful in taking that feedback. It doesn't come overnight, it comes with a lot of practice. If you're being blamed for something, we should never take it personally, and that comes with a lot of meditation and a lot of being self-aware, because it's their point of view that they're pointing fingers at you, right? So that is very, because when you are aware, when you know the truth, when you are practicing meditation, you will not take it personally. Because when you take things personally, what happens is you will not be the best version of yourself, and indirectly you're kind of, when we take things personally, we are kind of losing the energy, because we are really thinking very hard, we are being very hard to ourselves. Yes, as meditators or with the person of wisdom, it is very common to have emotions, but when we are very mindful, we will try to make ourselves much more better. We don't take things personally. All right, moving on. And in the book, the author talks about one of the example. Actually, there is a little girl who is actually very happy, and she's trying to sing a song beautifully. And the mom comes home, and she's really stressed out at work. And she comes and she tries to. She's very disappointed with the way things happened on that day, and she's very kind of demotivated, and she was just sitting idle, and she was just thinking about all of the things that happened over the day. And this girl is pretty happy and she's singing, but because the mom was not in a very good mood, she just yells at her child, saying that, please stop singing, you are really not a great singer. And the kid actually unknowingly took it very personal, and she thought that she's really not a great singer, and she didn't sing throughout her whole life actually, though she was really a good singer actually. And she realized a little later in the adulthood that she can sing songs, because it's the belief system that was actually went into her mindset, that she cannot be a singer, because she took it pretty personal. So unknowingly we are kind of doing that with our words, when we are and taking it personally. It could be the other way, right? We are kind of making others feel bad, or when others are really blaming, we are also taking it personally. All right, moving on. Don't make assumptions. So assumptions, lot of times this third principle helps us a lot in building our relationships. When somebody is saying something, we try to assume things, and rather in assuming things, we can actually lot of assuming things, and we have something going on in our mind, and then we misunderstand the assumption, and we try to take it personally, and we create a whole big drama for no reason actually. So it's very important to actually not assume things. And how do we not make assumptions? So let's say if somebody is asking you to do something, okay, that is great because they're asking you because you're capable of doing it. So but how do we, but you also have to ask a lot more clarifying questions. When do you want me to get this done? Because the other person might be expecting to get it done today, which you are not aware of. And let's say that you complete the work in a week, then there's a lot of misunderstanding happen, and then it's not going to go anywhere, right? So it's very important to ask a lot of clarifying questions to make sure both the parties are in the same page, or like there's no gaps between their communication relationships. I think this is another beautiful principle that is actually written by the author here. All right, so how can we incorporate, as we discussed, the way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask a lot of clarifying questions to make sure your communication is, let's say that if I want to go to my friend's place, why I can assume that maybe she is busy. I can assume that she might be busy. Like, instead of making all these different various types of assumptions, I could just give a call, like, are you available? Like, if you're available, I can. But at the same time, I should be very receptive to take the feedback. Yeah, if she's not available, it's okay, right? We can always meet next. So that's the making, rather than making assumptions, it's better to clarify and have an open communications to get relationships better and keep going. All right, so moving on to the last one, always do your best. This is my most favorite. um, as mothers, as parents, as dads, as professionals, we all struggle with a lot, doing a lot of things, right? So we all have a lot of self doubt. Am I really doing the right thing? Am I doing good enough? Am I doing, it's always good to have a growth mindset, no doubt about it. But judging yourself too bad that, hey, am I really doing well? And then we try to push ourselves so much harder and harder on us. What makes is we continue to put a lot more effort than what our body can actually do. So we're putting a lot more energy. And if you're doing that for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, you're actually going to have a lot of stressful life. Indirectly, it's actually going to impact your health. And especially for youngsters who's coming into workforce, this I think will help them a lot. And for we as an adults as well. So we have to be very mindful, given your current situation, given your energy levels, given what you're capable of, right? And having a good consistency and having a good discipline. Hey, these are the things that I can do. And if my energy levels is 12 hours a day to get things done, and that is my best version of myself. For somebody else, it could be 8 hours, and others, it could be 14 hours. So we need to know our best version of ourselves, and we have to put a cap on that. What is the best version of ourselves? And at the same time, always, if 12 hours is my best version, every day need not be the 12 hours. There are days where I'm under the weather, and I have to acknowledge that today is not my, it's not going to be my best day, which is totally fine, and we don't have to be very hard on this. And at the same time, there could be, yes, today is my 12 hours is still the best, but I'm running around different things. I have to take my kid to a swimming competition, or if I have to take my kid to a doctor's visit, I'm not going to put all my 12 hours at work, or I'm not going to put like even not even 8 hours, which is okay. You have to accept that and go forward. But at the same time, we also cannot underdo our best version of ourselves. Let's say if my capability is 12 hours, but and I have a mindset that no, I am going to do only work only 8 hours, then which means we are not giving the best version of ourselves. And indirectly, when the results come out, we are not happy. And when we are not happy, we'll lead into the guiltiness. Hey, I should have done better. I think I was capable. I could have done better. Right? So those are some of the things that we have to be not overdo, but at the same time not underdo. So those are some things that we have to keep in mind to be the best version of yourself. So these are the four things. Let's All right. As we discussed, like we always, whatever we do, we have to enjoy, right? So that's another principle, because if we really don't enjoy, then it can also add a lot of stress to your life as well. The final quotes, right? We are all born to be very happy, and we have the right to live the way we want, enjoy, share our love, and feel happy about it. So these are the four principles, and this is all coming out from the great book which is called Four Agreements, as I said, written by Don Michael. He conducts a lot of sessions, workshops, and monthly workshops. It's kind of hard to get in because it's very limited space, but it's a 4 month workshops that he conducts. He is born in Mexico. He was a neurosurgeon by profession, and he actually moved to California in the year 1986, and he's been living there. And with all his scientific knowledge, and his mother has a lot of spiritual background, so he was raised with that spiritual awareness. So with that scientific background and the spiritual, I think that motivated him to write this book and help a lot, millions of people out there in the society. So that's the background about all these four principles which is coming out today.